Let me ask you something. If you are selling AI agents right now, or you're planning to sell AI agents, what happens when someone else comes along and sells the same thing that you have for half the price? What happens when all of these bigger companies start to make AI agents a part of their system? They make them native. What happens when more and more people are showing others how to build it for free on YouTube? See, the point I'm trying to make with this is that most of you are accidentally positioning yourselves as software resellers, and you don't even realize it. And if you price like software, you will be treated like software. And that's the core idea on today's live coaching call. So before we get into that, a couple of things. Number one, how does my audio sound? How does my audio sound, everybody? Let me know in the chat. We were having some issues with it last week. Are we good this week, or does it sound off? Cameron, maybe you can let me know as well. That would be great. I meant to check last week and I forgot. So awesome. I see some comments that says, sounds good, sounds good, sounds good. Okay, awesome, spectacular. Okay, before we get going with today's core training, I just have a couple of quick little housekeeping things to get out of the way. And also, I want to help you get the most value out of this session as possible. So one of the things that I do for all of these sessions is I put together a little cheat sheet on the topic that I'll be covering today. And it has a lot of the information that I'll be going over, along with additional resources and stuff inside here. So if you want this free cheat sheet, there's a couple of ways to get it. Number one, you can join my free school group. So if you go to smartdirectory.ai/group, I put that in the chat as well. You will be taken to a page where you can join this group right here, Smart AI Operators. In this group, one of the pen posts at the top is my Friday live coaching call. And in this post, there is a link to a document that not only has this cheat sheet, but it has a bunch of other AI cheat sheets that I have as well. So you can join the group and get it that way, or you can just subscribe, like, leave a comment below this video if you're watching this on YouTube, and I will personally respond with a link to join my free Smart AI Launch Lab training. This is a training I put together that shows you how to get your business launched in 72 hours. And on the thank you page, again, this is free. It's a free training. But when you sign up, you'll be taken to this thank you page. And if you scroll down to step number 3, you'll see there's a get all my free AI cheat sheets now. You just click this button and it will take you to that same document where all of my AI cheat sheets live. So if you want to get your hands on this document, either join the school group, go there, or just like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I'll drop a link to the free training. Once you sign up, you'll end up on this thank you page. There's a link to join the group here as well, and you'll get the free AI cheat sheets here. Okay, all right, now that I've got that out of the way, I want to start with a quick story. I want to take you back to 2011 and something that shaped how I think about all this. See, 2011 was the year that I got fired. So I was a corporate restaurant manager at the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company on the island of Maui. Steady job, predictable paycheck, and then one day, that job was just gone. I didn't have an agency. I didn't have a SaaS. I didn't have Smart Directory AI. But one of the things that I knew from kind of my research online was that businesses need customers. So I started helping local businesses get customers, first with direct mail, and then online, websites, directories, funnels, automation, SEO, social media, all that stuff. And here's the mistake I made in those early days. I thought I was selling tools and services. Every sales call sounded like this. I would tell them like, hey, I can help you do this. And they would say, well, how much? Or I had one client that was paying me $1,000 a month to run all their marketing. And then one month they just reached out to me and they were like, hey, my daughter just graduated from college. She has a marketing degree. She's going to be taking over everything. Or sometimes clients would reach out to me and say, I found something cheaper. Or I'd be talking to them. I'd go through my whole spiel. I'd send them a proposal and I'd get the dreaded, let me think about it. The reason this was happening to me is because when you sell tools, you get compared. So everything didn't really start to change for me until I realized that businesses don't actually buy tools or services. They buy help. They buy clarity. They buy direction. They buy someone who understands their business. So when I stopped selling tools and started focusing on outcomes, my pricing changed, my clients changed, my income changed. Now, fast forward today, I'm actually watching history repeat itself. I know I'm aging myself, but that is now what I'm seeing, except now all those tools are called AI agents. So I want to show you this comparison. Check this out. There are really two models out there, right? There's the software seller. So this is someone who says, hey, I have an AI agent. Sign up for my AI agent subscription, right? They sell features. They compete on price. Honestly, they're easily replaced because there's low switching cost. When you're a software seller, you have to deal with support tickets. People can just cancel anytime, and you are compared constantly to the other tools that are out there. Now, as you know, I have a software company, so I know all of these things happen when you are selling software as software. So when you sell an AI voice agent for $297 a month, you're selling software. Now, the other model is to go at this not as a software seller, but as an AI consultant or expert. And this is a person who sells, I gotta read the little thing here. I'm getting ahead of myself. An AI consultant or AI expert sells outcomes. So they diagnose the problem, they design the systems, they build relationships. They are hard to replace. They have a relationship with their clients, and their anchor in pricing is to impact. So a typical pricing for someone with this kind of positioning is $1,500 to $3,000 as a setup fee, and either $1,000 to $3,000 a month as a retainer. There's also usually milestone payments. Sometimes there's performance incentives. And you will see in the school group when people share wins, there are a lot of people that share wins that have this kind of a structure, right? So the reason that I'm bringing all of this up is because if you sell, instead of selling an AI agent, if you sell an AI patient reactivation system for med spas, with a $2,500 setup fee and $1,250 a month, you are not selling software. You're selling impact, right? Patient reactivation. So just remember this line. If you are charging like a tool, you'll be treated like a tool, all right? So payment structure reflects your positioning. So when you are pricing as software, right, you're usually pricing per user, per seat. You're doing like a usage fee. Maybe it's just a monthly flat fee. Sometimes you might offer a free trial, but this creates comparison shopping, discount pressure, feature requests, and churn sensitivity. So if you don't know what churn is like when you start with X number of customers and then 30 days later, you look at how many customers you still have, the ones that left, that percentage is your churn. Right? But when you price as a consultant, you can have a discovery fee, a strategy session fee. If you guys remember on last week's call, I shared about Dorn, how he sold 4 of these strategy sessions for $500. That's what he was doing there, right? You get that as an AI expert, a consultant, a trusted advisor. Then there's implementation fee, retainer, milestone-based payments, performance-based incentives. So when you structure payment like a consultant, you are signaling value. So instead of selling an AI agent at a low price, like $297 a month, you sell an AI booking optimization system. $3,000 implementation, $1,500 a month management. So what actually changed in that positioning? Well, it wasn't the tech, right? It was the framing. Now, a lot of people always ask me this question too, like, well, Tom, why the heck would someone pay $1,500 a month for management? Well, that's where you come in. That's where your client service comes in. You make that price valuable by always being responsive, by clearly communicating with your clients, by showing them that you're getting results with reporting, by doing whatever it is you need to do to help them get success, right? By just taking care of things for them. Remember, most business owners are busy running their business. The reason they would hire you is so that they can get this thing that they know they need taken care of without having to deal with it themselves. So the more you can take, what's the word I'm looking for? The more you can take ownership of that thing you're doing for them and deliver a great client experience, the more you can charge, the longer your clients will stay, just the better business you will have. Now, I know a lot of people think, oh, well, it'd be so nice if I'm just selling software because people don't know who I am and blah, but there's a whole lot of problems that come with that. And it's very hard to get premium pricing in that model. So here's why this is critical for any of you that are selling services or that are using the Smart Directory AI software to get clients, because the Smart Directory AI software gets you in the door. The consulting is what keeps you paid. So the directory automatically takes you out of the I'm selling software position and positions you as someone who's providing value to the local business community, as someone who's invested in that area and investing their time and their skill set into building this nice resource for small businesses in the area, right? So your directory actually starts the conversations. It also opens up permission for you to continue to contact and talk to these people. It creates leverage and it positions you as a local authority pretty much right out of the box, right? When somebody looks at a directory site like this, they don't wonder if you know how to build a website. Like, they can see with their own eyes that you know how to build a website, right? And a nice looking website with a lot of robust features, not just some, basic thing. Also, too, when they go to a site like this and they see that it has an integrated AI agent that helps the users do things easier that they need, for instance, by claiming their listing or adding their business or whatever that is, they know that you know how to build AI agents because they can see it for themselves. They don't have to ask, who else have you done this for? Do you know what you're doing? They see that you know what you're doing. Does that make sense to everyone? Because this positioning is really, really important. Okay? So the directory gets all this started, but the money that you make actually comes from implementation, AI integration into the workflow, helping their staff utilize the new tools, optimizing it as you go along the way, and an ongoing advisory role for you. So if you are hoping to just start up a directory, sell premium listings, and make a bunch of money, you are pretty much in for a long, hard road. That business model takes a lot of time. You've got to build traffic. You've got to pack a lot of value in. Mainly, it's the traffic that takes so much time, right? And in that model, you're kind of building a small business. Because think about this. If we're selling a listing even at, $250 per year, like there's quite a few of those to hit some significant income goals. But if you sell AI consulting on the back end, right, powered by your directory, then you're building a growth engine. That is the shift. So if you compete as AI tool sellers, you're going to be undercutting each other. It's going to be a race to the bottom. You're going to get burnt out. Clients are going to churn constantly, and you're going to be overwhelmed with tech support for the tool that you are providing them. But if you position as an AI consultant, you can raise your price, you can increase retention, you can increase switching costs, you can increase perceived authority, and you can reduce churn. It's always really interesting to me how the clients that pay the least are usually the ones that leave the fastest. In my experience, the more a client pays, the longer they will stay. And I know that seems counterintuitive, right? You think like, oh, well, if I keep my pricing low, I'll just keep clients forever. But that's not how it works. And even more like stunning to me when I was really building my business was a lot of companies won't even talk to you if your pricing is cheap. Like they understand that to deliver a certain level of client experience and results, it requires a certain level of investment. And if everyone in their market, like let's take attorneys where SEO is super competitive, an attorney knows they are going to spend a lot of money every month if they want to rank number one in SEO. They know that is the case. If you come in and try to tell them that you can get them ranking there for $50 a month, they're not going to believe you because everyone else is telling them that that's not the case. And it is not the case, right? So this idea that the cheapest price wins is not good, right? But how do you position yourself out of that pool of people? Well, the way you do it is by becoming a local authority. You want to be like a rare find for your clients. Like they're like, man, I found this person in the area. I can't believe it. They know all this AI stuff. I can call them and ask them questions. They're always above board with me, all those things, right? One of the things that I used to do early on in my business was I would tell people, look, do you get a lot of calls from people trying to sell you marketing services? They'd say, yeah. I'd say, well, look, here's my number. You just tell them that I handle all your marketing. And when they call you, you just send them to me. I will hear them out. I will listen to what they have to say. If I think it's something good, I'll reach out to you and we can just meet every once in a while and talk about it. That gave me a reason to follow up with them periodically. But even better, I was getting my competitors calling me to tell me what they wanted to sell this business. And then I could go to the business and say, hey, this month I got a couple calls. One person was trying to sell you Google Business Optimization. Look, I do think this is a good thing because I notice your Google business isn't claimed, which it should be, but you don't need to pay what they were doing. I can actually help you with this. Do you see the beauty in that, right? Okay, so when you do it this way, right, it selfishly protects you and it protects your income. So the best thing that ever happened to me was getting fired in 2011 because it forced me to learn this lesson that I don't sell tools, I sell outcomes. And if you want to make real money with AI, you cannot position yourself as a software reseller. You must position yourself as an AI expert or consultant in your local area. Now, one thing that I'm going to be doing in March is I'm going to do a special private training for all active Smart Directory AI users. Now, in this full pricing coaching session, I'm going to cover how to calculate your true consulting rate, how to package without itemizing features, how to anchor your price properly, how to move from the $297 a month bracket and bucket to the $1,500 to $3,000 a month retainers. I'm going to show you how to prevent scope creep in your services and how to build long-term contracts that protect you. And that is where this stuff gets really powerful. So here's the deal. If you want access to the full pricing coaching session, here's what you need to do. If you're not already an active Smart Directory AI user, just sign up for Smart Directory AI before February 29th. That's the cutoff date. Anyone who joins before the end of February will get access to this special pricing workshop where I'm going to go deep into packaging, retainers, and how to move into the $1,500 to $3,000 a month consulting offers group. Now, after February, this session will not be included. So if you want to get this, make sure you get into Smart Directory AI before the end of the month. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open things up for Q&A. I've got some other stuff I want to talk about here as well. And if you have any questions for me directly about what I've covered here, we can talk about that too as well. The pin post, it's right here. You can see it here. Let me share my screen. It's this one right here that says Friday live coaching call. There's the pin post right there. Okay, so one of the things that we like to do every week is celebrate the wins in the community. And so I'm going to go through some wins here. I'm also going to point out some posts that I saw over the week that I think everyone in the group and the community could get value out of the answers and just the question itself. So we're going to talk about that as well. So first up, I want to give a big shout out to Richie Cronin. He shared this win just before we went live today. He got over $1,200 from one 5-minute phone call. And I'm not going to read all of this. This post is in the school group. If you go here and you just click on celebrations at the top, you'll see it as the first one. You can go here and read the post. But this is an awesome idea for a service to offer using a new feature in GoHighLevel. This would be a great thing to sell on the back end of your directory listing. So Richie does a great job of breaking it down, telling you what he did, breaking down all the costs, all that stuff. So you can go check this out. But Richie, awesome win there. I also wanted to give a big shout out to Brenda. So Brenda shared in the group that her Smart Directory AI site, the listing for one of the businesses on her site is ranking number 1 for this HVAC company. So check out this picture. This is the name of the business on her directory, Quantum HVAC Solutions. And when you pop that into Google, look who's ranking number 1, Brenda's directory and their business listing. So this is not only a big shout out to Brenda for the awesome work on implementing and taking action and getting these results, but also to the Smart Directory AI team, because we've been making a lot of improvements in the SEO and all that stuff of the site over the past few months. Some of you know we recently rolled out an automatic XML sitemap feature. So this is a direct result of that as well too. So awesome work, Brenda. I loved seeing this as well. I mean, that is value, right? People always ask me like, well, Tom, why would they sign up? Well, I know that Brenda hasn't had her directory for a long time. She's already got a business ranking. This is something she can use in her outreach as a case study and other things to show the value of her directory, as well as doing her active outreach to close clients while that's all going, right? So awesome work, Brenda. Savannah sent me this DM. She said she got one new client from her directory, but now she's looking for some updated stuff. I messaged her back. I wanted to get some details on this before the call, but I haven't heard back. So Savannah, if you're watching this, check your DMs in school, message me back. I can get you the information that you need there. Now, pardon me. Let me take a drink of water here. Or water. Diet Dr. Pepper. I meant. Let me take a look at the comments, and then I want to go through a couple of questions I saw that I think are really good. Yeah, Doug, that is a really great strategy that Richie shared there. Let's see. Let me go through here, make sure I haven't. Bryce, the sheet is already in the list. So you will see I think it's the very top one right now. So if you go to that post, or if you want to leave a comment, I'll get a link to the Smart AI Launch Lab training after this is over. We'll get that in there too. Okay. Yep, people are asking about the sheet. So when you go into the school group, there's 3 pin posts here. So look, at the top, there's 3 pin posts. One is the new Smart Directory AI updates, which I'll talk about in a second if you've missed those. These are the group rules. Very important that you read the group rules. I just kicked someone out of the group this morning because I saw they joined today. They immediately came in and started blasting all of this. How can I help you? Please DM me. Do you need any help? And we just don't tolerate that kind of stuff, right? So I kicked them out. I don't want to kick you out, so make sure you're familiar with the group rules. Also, a big shout out to Reza, one of our members who reached out to me beforehand and was like, hey, I want to make a post, but I want to make sure this is cool with the group rules. And we were able to talk that through and work that out and all that stuff. So please just do the professional, respectable thing, respect the rules. And if you think something is questionable or on the line, reach out to me directly and just ask me and we can talk it out in the DMs. But then there's this third pin post, Smart AI Operators Friday Live Coaching Call. When you click on this, you can watch this coaching call directly from this post, or you can watch it on YouTube like you might be doing now. But in this, at the very top, there's a link to the document that has all the cheat sheets in there. Okay. All right. So I wanted to go through a couple of questions that people posted in the group that I thought everybody here might get some value from. And then I'll open up for Q&A and you can ask me your questions directly. So number one, Rajatha, I hope I said that right, Rajatha, made this post and said, hey, I created a directory. Can I start prospecting? Now, I want to show everybody this because I see so many people get tripped up in the setup of their directory. Like, they just really struggle with wanting it to be perfect and set up in a certain way before they start prospecting. But we've designed Smart Directory AI to really be able to start prospecting right out of the basics foundation install. So whenever you, when you sign up for Smart Directory AI, we have a thing called the Express install. When you do the Express install, which you can do in, probably an afternoon, a couple hours, this is the Express, what the Express install looks like when you're finished. So you can see these are actual demo businesses that we provided. Some of these aren't now. These are different ones they've added. But this is the basic install of Smart Directory AI. Now, when you go through the Express install, they've updated the cover image. They've made some changes here. They created a little logo, right? Which I love. But this site was set up this way because you could absolutely start prospecting from this site in this condition, even without having any local businesses on it. Because what's going to happen is, before you prospect, you're going to add your own local businesses to this site, and then you're going to run them through the prospecting workflow. So as you know, one of the bonuses you get with Smart Directory AI is we build a list of 100 leads that we put on the site that we give you so you can make your site look active with local businesses. So when you add those businesses to the site, you can then just delete the demo businesses and boom, you're off to the races. So we did this strategically on purpose because one of the biggest frustrations I found with setting up a directory site was how long it took to get launched. And so I'm always like, I do restrain myself a lot because I do see people all the time in the group asking questions, talking about things, and I think, my God, like, we're overthinking this. Like, well, let's just get it live. Let's get to prospecting, and then we can go from there. So anyway, I wanted to point out this comment in this post because this is one of the reasons I built Smart Directory AI the way I did was so that you could get to be prospecting as quickly as possible. And I think you can see this site definitely looks good enough to start prospecting. If someone were to come here, it'll just look like an Active Directory site, right? So Rajatha, awesome work on getting this all set up the way you did and all that stuff. And you're absolutely ready to go. Now, the other one I wanted to point out was this from Nora. So Nora said she's in Germany, and so she's struggling with building lead lists that actually have emails. A lot of the emails are just like info at and the company name. They're not great emails, okay? And in Germany, it's not allowed to send unsolicited emails or SMS without consent. So Nora was thinking about calling the businesses listed in her directory. And so I just wanted to comment on this a little bit, because I do think emails are becoming less and less valuable. And I know some of you may disagree with this, but I think email has been one of the worst ways to prospect for a long time. It's also another reason why I developed the Smart Directory AI Verify Your Business system, because I was trying to use cold email to prospect and no one was opening my emails. I wasn't getting responses. Like, it was horrible. It was a nightmare. It wasn't until I started sending emails from the directory where I said, hey, you have a free listing on this local business resource. It's already live. I just need you to verify your information. Here's what I have: name, address, phone number. Is this correct? Just reply yes to let me know. That I really started getting traction with cold email. That, to me, is the game changer in the directory model, is that you have this great neutral thing to reach out about. You don't sound salesy. It's very customized with their business information, and so they respond. But people's emails are just, they're flooded, right? And AI is making this even worse, because now the people can create more AI email messages, so inboxes are getting even more flooded. Now there's AI tools to root out spam and root out AI-generated emails. So email is a very tough way, unless you're using the directory model of email prospecting, to actually cold prospect. So the reason I point this out is because I think Nora is on the right track about, she's thinking about picking up the phone and calling. We used to do this early on before we had email automations built in. But the mistake a lot of people make with this is they think when you pick up the phone to verify somebody's business information that you're doing a cold call. But I just want to be clear, this is not a cold call, because you're not trying to sell anything. You're simply calling someone to verify that the information about their business that is live online is correct. That is an entirely different conversation. Don't call them trying to sell them something right out of the gate. Call them to do exactly what I just said: verify their information. Now, I get it. A lot of you are like, I don't want to pick up the phone no matter what. Well, guess what? HighLevel to the rescue. So here's another thing that Nora could do as well. Inside of the HighLevel automations, so I'm going to go to the automations here. You have other ways to reach out to businesses. You can use Facebook Messenger. You can use WhatsApp. Those are other ways that you could drop your leads in if you have that information about them and initiate conversations. So if you're in an area that is really strict on SMS and things like that, you might want to think about, can I build a simple little workflow that I can drop people in, that will DM them on Facebook, that will DM them on WhatsApp, and just let them know, hey, you've got a listing. Can you verify the information? Again, don't try to sell them anything. Do the same approach. So that's another way around the not being able to get the emails that Nora is talking about here. Okay, so I wanted to point this out because I do see a lot of people struggle with this, but you don't have to. Like, let's be active in our outreach, right? Remember, like, this is not just your results are going to come by how consistently you reach out to businesses. And what that means is how consistently you add new businesses to your directory, run them through those workflows, and then also the follow-up you do. This is not a get-rich-quick overnight model. This is not a sit around in your underwear. Like, you do have to do some things here. None of it is hard. None of it requires a lot of effort. You just actually have to take those actions. So I thought Nora's question was a great example of that as well. All right, let me go to the Q&A, and I'm going to run through some of these. And let's see. Richie says, if you send 300 emails and none get accepted or opened or have any eyeballs on them, AI filters will now block all your sends from that domain. But the catch is AI won't tell you. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of stuff that's coming, right? Let me see here. She beat me 2 times. Beat me to it. Yes, withdrawal was great. Oh, I'm trying to see if I'm missing any questions here. My fun withdrawal. Oh, are you talking about the Cash App giveaways we used to do? I've been trying to figure out the best tech to do that because I used to do these calls on StreamYard, and StreamYard had a giveaway tool. But my new system is with OBS, and I don't have a giveaway tool, so I haven't quite cracked the tech on that. But we'll see. We'll see. It may be back. If you have any questions for me, please pop them in the chat right now. I will go through and answer your questions here live. So if you have any questions, pop them in. While you're doing that, I do want to go over one other thing that was big and happening in the community this week, and that is the new Smart Directory AI features that we rolled out this week. So if you have not seen this post in the school group, go check it out. I also sent an email on this. You can find it on the Smart Directory AI YouTube channel as well. But we did roll out a lot of really great features this past week. I'm just going to go over a couple for you right now. One is in the integrations. So, one of the things when you have a directory is you can get a lot of listing spam, bots going out there trying to make listings and things like that. So we've actually now rolled out a new reCAPTCHA feature. So if you go to settings and then you go to integrations, you'll see it right here, reCAPTCHA protection. When you turn this on, you just set up a free Google reCAPTCHA key, and there's instructions on how to do that right here. But now, whenever someone goes to register as a user on your directory, you will get this reCAPTCHA. I'm not a robot. If they go to add a new business, same thing. You'll have this reCAPTCHA here to help cut down on that listing spam and people trying to create listings that aren't real people. So that was a really kind of under the radar update that I thought was really, really good. We've also updated some of the navigation. So it used to be when you would click on branding, you would have to select your directory. You don't have to do that anymore. When you click on branding, you are just right in the branding section where you can make changes to your site. One of the other updates we did was we are giving you the ability to set your own default profile and cover images. So if you look on this directory site, when you see something like this with this house, this was the default profile image in Smart Directory AI, and we set that. So you could not change this before. Whenever you would create a listing, if you didn't add any images, this is the image that you got. That is no longer the case. Now you can add your own default profile image and default cover image. And whenever you create a new listing or you add listings in bulk to your directory, they will automatically be given those images. You don't have to go into each one and change them. So this is really a big step because it'll help you make your sites look more professional, look a lot better right out of the box, more branded to what you're doing as well. That's another great update. Also on the menu builder side of things, we have made the home page a system page. So over here on the left, you have these system pages, and you can see like home, blogs, news, events, jobs, pricing. I was just talking to somebody about this, answering something in the school group on this. If you want, because these are system pages, you can show them or not show them. So we have now added the home to that. So if you don't want to show, like on my site, see how it says home here? Let's say that I don't want to have that in my menu. I can just go here and delete, and then I can save my menu, and you'll see when I refresh over here, now that home tab is, this one isn't fixing. Hold on. Got to go refresh in here sometimes. Sometimes on those preview sites, gives me a little trouble. Let's refresh in here, make sure that it's not there. So I'm going to go to branding, menu builder. It's not there. Do we get it? It might be something with my cache. Oh, I know why, because I'm doing it on a different site. I thought I was on Vegas Thrive, but I'm on Tom SDA. So you can see now, look, the home button is gone. I was on two different sites. Sorry about that. My bad. That was a silly mistake, Tommy. So you can see it's gone. If I want to put it back, all I have to do is go to System Pages and just click Add to Menu next to Home, and it adds it to the bottom of the menu. Now, if you have a very robust menu, you might be like, oh, this is a real pain to move this all the way up. So we added a new feature update that allows you to collapse these subcategories. So wherever you have subcategories, you'll now see a little box with a minus sign. And if you click that, it closes them. It closes them so that you don't have all of those things out anymore, right? So I'm going to go through here. I'm just going to close all these. You can see now it's real easy to move the home up to the top, save the menu. Let me go back here. You can see now home is back right there. And it's back here too, right? And I can, again, now if I want to get it in the subcategories, I just click the little plus and it shows me what those are as well. All right, so that's another, I think, really great update in the menu builder. Also, too, we have rolled out an onboarding checklist. So you'll see if you're logging into Smart Directory AI for the first time, this will just automatically pop up. But if you've already been using the site, if you go over here to notification, you'll see this red one is up. There's now an onboarding checklist. So when you click this, it pops up the onboarding checklist and loads in the steps that you need to complete to get your site live. Now, what's really awesome about this update is you can get help right here, and you can also go to the exact spot in the software where you do the action. So like, let's look at this customize theme, right? If I click on this little question mark, it immediately opens up the Smart Directory AI knowledge base to the page on how to customize your theme. Now, there's a video here you can watch if you want, or there is a step-by-step breakdown of how to customize your theme below here. So that's number one. Oop, let me pull this back. That's number one, right? This little question mark takes you to the knowledge base. If you want to customize your theme, you just click this little arrow, and it takes you right to the branding section where you can customize your theme. So I'm really super excited about this. And if you want to get back to the onboarding, just click the notification. You'll see it right here. And then once you're done with that section, you just click the little check mark, and it marks, and you see your percentage of being set up goes. And here's the rest here. Now, there's going to be some updates and things to this as we move forward. We might add some new things to this checklist for you. Also, we're currently working on building in the ability to have it automatically recognize what you've done and what you haven't. But for now, this is where we're at. This should be a big help in helping you get set up faster. Make sure you don't miss anything in the setup process and know exactly what you need to do. I know a lot of people say, I just struggle with, I don't know what to do next, Tom. What should I do next? What should I do next? Well, this onboarding checklist just shows you what to do next. Okay, let me go. I've given you some time to put in some questions. Let me make this a little bigger, and let me go through here and see what questions do we have. Let's see. That giveaways. Oh, I'm glad you guys like the giveaways. I'll figure out a way to get it back. Somebody said, are the updates in SDI automatically installed if our app is already installed at GoHighLevel? Bill, the short answer is most of them, yes. So there are 3 different types of updates that can happen to your Smart Directory AI site. One is a core function of the app, like some things that the app does. So to be clear, and let me show you guys this so I can kind of explain sort of how this works, right? So when you see a Smart Directory AI site like this, this site is not built in GoHighLevel. Does everybody realize that? Like, this is not a GoHighLevel website. This website is actually built inside the app because GoHighLevel doesn't have the ability to build a directory with their website builder. So we had to build the website separately, and then the app is what allows you to see it and host it inside your GoHighLevel account. So this stuff like the dashboard and all of these things like this. None of this stuff can exist inside HighLevel without the app. It is all put there by the app. So this website is not a standard GoHighLevel website. This is a website that we created, it's imported. That's why some of the things are customizable, some things aren't. We're working on opening up more customization to you guys and all that stuff as well. But that's number one, is this website isn't actually a GoHighLevel website, that it lives in here. So when we do updates to some core functionality, Bill, sometimes you have to uninstall and reinstall the app. But don't worry, you don't lose any changes that you've made. And all you do is just click, there's a video in the knowledge base that shows you how to do it. You just uninstall and reinstall and you're good to go. Some updates require that. If you have an update that does, you will get a message when you log into your software that will say you need to reinstall the app. When you see that message, just uninstall, reinstall. You don't have to worry. You don't lose any changes or anything like that, but it updates the core functionality of the app. So that's one type of update that could be rolled out. We try to keep those updates, we try to do those as sporadically as possible because we don't want you to have to keep reinstalling the app, but some functions just require us to do that. The next type of update that you might need to have is to the snapshots. So we have a snapshot that you install. So if we make updates to the snapshot, we might ask you to go back and update your snapshot. Again, there's a process in the knowledge base that shows you how to do that. All the other updates, like all the updates that I was showing you today, are just automatically in your account when you log in. And so if you want to see what is new and what's going on, you can always just click on this change log and it will show you like the last 3 things that are here. And if you want to see all changes, just click this see all changes and it will bring you to the change log and you can see all the changes that are happening, on a pretty consistent regular basis here. Also, there is this feedback page where you can go to like feature requests and see what feature requests are people looking at. And also we have this page right here where it shows you, like you can go here and see, here's all the new features that are planned. Here's what is currently in progress. So these are things that are going to be rolled out probably in the next 2 weeks. Right now, our development cycle is 2 weeks. So the way that this works, just to give you some clarity for how this works behind the scenes, is Cameron gets together with the development team and they map out, here's the things that are requested, the updates the things we're gonna add. What can we get done in the next 2 weeks? And then they select the ones that they can get done in 2 weeks. And then they have 2 weeks to get them finished and roll them out. So you'll start to see, it's already starting to happen, but updates will be coming out around that time every 2 weeks. Now there's bug fixes and other things like that happen along the way, but mainly the new updates and features are on that cycle. So we run a 2-week development sprint, and then you can see what's in progress for those, and then you can see what's complete over here as well. So this just helps put some clarity on, the process and what's going on and all that stuff. So you can see we are busy little beavers behind the scenes with this software. It's pretty crazy. So that was a great question. I love that question. Somebody says, I'm having the hardest time hooking up my GoDaddy Smart Directory AI. Have you been communicating with our support team to help you out? If not, please reach out so that they can help you out. You cannot, Kat. It doesn't work that way. It is actually, that website is built in React. So you cannot, you can't install it on WordPress without HighLevel. It's all integrated. So and Kat, maybe I can shed a little a light on why we do it this way too, and maybe offer a little clarity to all of you as well on this, because we had a choice when we were going to, so as you guys know, we had a directory software built in WordPress before, but it was getting old and we needed to redo it and we wanted to rebuild it in a really a new technology, one that is going to last for a while. And here's the thing with building a directory site. There's the directory site itself, right? The listings, the look of the site, the features that you want the directory site to have, like claim a listing and different things like that. And then there's the automations that happen all on the back end. So our biggest competitor is Brilliant Directories. Maybe you've heard of them. I'll just call them out right here. Brilliant Directories, they have a lot of great stuff on the front end, but they don't have they have no automations on the back end. Like, it's really a pain in the rear to try to set up the automations because you have to use a bunch of different tools or you have to try to connect HighLevel. And so it's not one holistic system. So we were already using HighLevel for automations, and we thought, man, it would be great if we could just have the directory right inside HighLevel so that all of those things integrate. Now, there's a trade-off for that. One, customization. When you're building it inside HighLevel like we are, we had to give up some customization to have more robust automation workflow features on the back end. But now we are working in making it more customizable and all that stuff for you, so you'll have the best of both worlds, right? Something that's very customizable and all of the automation stuff on the back end. Because if we had to develop our own AI agents, our own automations and workflows, it could take forever, and it could get really, really pricey for you, the user. But because we can lock this onto HighLevel and integrate that stuff that way, it allows us to keep the cost down for you. Now, so that's one part. So customization, we went more for the automations and less on the customizations on the front end, but now we're working on that. The other thing that we've shifted on the backside of this is there's not going to be multiple themes for the same type of directory. What's going to be happening very soon is there's going to be multiple directory types. So what does that mean? Well, the business directory, which is the type of directory you currently have with Smart Directory AI, that directory, we're working on making it more customizable so that you can make it look however you want without having to change the theme. So our focus on that directory is giving you the ability to customize it more. What's going to roll out in the next 2 weeks is a whole new directory type that's a people directory. So some of you have been wanting a directory where you can list people. So I'm going to give you, I hope Cameron doesn't kill me for this, but I'm going to show you what the new people directory looks like. There's also going to be some updates to the current base business directory theme and the way it looks that I think are going to be really good. But check this out. This is our new people directory. So this is what is on the way for Smart Directory AI users. So you can see this has the menus, everything up here. This is a list of people. So if you wanted to have a site built around attorneys or doctors or people in your coaching community, you could use this site. You can see here's Explore Our Community, here's featured members. Now, I know that these are businesses, but this is made for people. We just didn't have any people demo content to put in here. But if you click on Browse Members, you can see how this site is going to look. So just imagine each of these as a person, John Smith, CPA, Megan, CPA, right? And then this is how this directory looks. So I'm super excited for this. This is going to be live, I think, in about a week and a half. And then we're also rolling out some updates to the business directory theme to make this header image look closer to this so that these both look aligned, right? But I think this is a super awesome update. I cannot wait for this. This is going to be so much fun. So eventually you're going to have 4 or 5 different directory types. So whenever you set up your very first Smart Directory AI, the first question you'll be asked is, what type of directory do you want to create? And you'll select either a local business directory, a people directory. I think another one we're going to have is we might have a real estate directory, an affiliate directory, so like a products directory, And then I think the last one, what was the last one? I know those are some. So we're still working those out. But you'll have 4 or 5 different directory types. So very excited about that. Let's see. Yes, Glenn, please do. But it should work. Sometimes the message gets messed up and like you're seeing the message when you're not supposed to. But usually the uninstall and the install works. Let's see. Even let me see what else is going on here. SGI for the win. Thanks. Dorn says we're starting to feel like a cult. Dorn, we won't turn into a cult. Don't worry. Let me see here. What am I missing? I understand the consultant thing, but don't we still have to get them to open email to explain that we have this great free listing for them? Debs, that's a great question. So let me just kind of go over this process really quick. So here's the way this whole directory thing works. So I'm going to go back to my Vegas Thrive directory. Let me go to the email templates and then I can kind of show you how this works. So I'm going to go, let me share my screen here. I'm in my GoHighLevel account, so I'm going to the email template. So I'm going to go to the first, dang it. There we go. I'm going to go to the first email that goes out in the sequence and just show you this. So Debs was saying, am I not? I'm not in the right account. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me get back over. I want to go to Vegas Thrive and show you this one. Because these I've customized, right? So to get to your email templates, you go to marketing and then you go to templates and then you'll see the email warm-up is the first one. So this is the email that first comes out, right? So you have a couple of options. Email is just one way to reach out to them and let them know they have a free listing. We could also just add them to our directory and call them up and say, hey, I'm Tom. I built this local directory. I added your business. It's live online. I just want to make sure the information I have is correct. Do you have a couple minutes to just verify, is this your correct business name, address, phone number, URL? We did it that way for a long time. And then we followed up with email, right? But we built a list of, I think, over 7,000 Hawaii businesses using that exact method that I just told you, just picking up the phone and calling. A database of over 7,000 businesses that all confirmed their email with us that Nick still markets to on his agency side. So don't overlook the power of that simple little process. Right? I mean, it's not sexy, it's not AI, but it works like gangbusters, right? So anyway, when we send them this email, it's very customized to them because it has their business information. And again, we're not asking them if they want to be on our directory. We're not doing any of that stuff. We're not trying to sell them anything. We're simply letting them know that we have already added them to our directory and their business is live online. And we just want to make sure this business information is correct. So if this is correct, reply yes. If you need changes, let me know the changes. When someone replies yes, or they say, no, that's not right, please change it to this, then we keep the conversation going by reaching back out to them and saying, thanks for letting me know. Appreciate you being on the directory. By the way, when I was setting up your listing, I noticed that you're not using an AI agent. I can actually help you with that. Does that make sense? So that's kind of the process. This is like, the directory is the conversation starter. It's the thing we use to get attention. It's not the thing we're actually trying to use to make money with like premium listings and things like that. We're using it as an attention getter to get conversations going so that we can sell our AI services on the back end. Somebody says, wouldn't you put people in as a service category on your regular directory? You could do that, but some people want to just list people, right? Like they don't want to list actual businesses. They just want a people directory. Like a great example of this is the GoHighLevel the high-level certified admin directory, right? So HighLevel really wants, let me see if I can find this. I'll show you this. So whenever you're looking for a high-level certified person, right? HighLevel built this directory. And here, I'll show you this because I can brag a little bit about one of my recent accomplishments. Look at that. I am now a certified admin for HighLevel. This is the little profile they give you. So here's the thing. This is how you would use a people directory, right? And you'll see our directory is very similar to this. It's going to look very similar to this. So you can go to industry and you can find, like, here's all the people in real estate that are certified admins, and you can pull them up and you can say, oh, well, like, I want to see what does Mercedes do. So I can go look at her profile. And if I want to hire Mercedes, I can reach out to her and hire her to help me with my real estate high-level stuff, right? So this is why you would need a people directory over a business directory. I know that we have one user in our community who has a directory of VAs very similar to this. We have several people that run coaching programs, and they want to have a list of their coaching students like this. So, and HighLevel is looking for a directory like this, which is part of the reason we've been rolling that new one out first. Let's see. Is there a pipeline associated with the automations? What automations are you talking about there? And maybe I can tell you. Awesome news. Let's see. Have GoHighLevel. Charles, I mean, is inside. Are these new directories all included in the same price? And can we make some from different categories? So, Mike's, yes. So, yeah, there's, you still, like, we have 2 licenses. We have a single site license and an unlimited license. So if you have an unlimited license, you'll be able to make unlimited directories, and you can make any type of directory you want. If you have a single site license, when you first log in, you'll have to pick what type of directory you want for your single site license and go from there. Tom, did your company ID come up on their caller ID when you called to notify them? Charles, I just used my cell phone. I called people directly from my personal cell phone. Debs, all I put in the subject line was like, is this information correct? ? Or can you verify this information for me? During COVID, we used, are you still open? That was really great. Can't really use that anymore, but just something very simple like that, Debs. And you can test different things, but you don't have to try to be tricky, fancy, anything like that. You just say, hey, can you verify this information for me? Remember, you're not selling anything. You're simply trying to get them to verify their information. All we're looking for is a response, which is what most people never get. Are there directory upsells? Like, when you have a directory, do you have upsells? Yes. So the directory has the ability for you to make premium packages and different things like that that you can sell the users that are on your directory. But there's no ups. Like, if you sign up for the directory, we just have a single site license and an unlimited license. There's no upsells there. Somebody said, can you tell me, is the boot camp a separate session and the kickoff? So the boot camp is something that HighLevel does. So that's something that HighLevel does. The boot camp is like one of their trainings to get you associated with HighLevel. But you don't need, look, if you're finding HighLevel and Smart Directory AI overwhelming, my guess is you're trying to learn too much right out of the gate. You do not need to know how to do anything in HighLevel to set up a Smart Directory AI site. If you just go through the onboarding checklist and do each thing, and I have a video that shows you how to do every part, you will learn all you need to know about HighLevel to operate the directory just by doing that process. So, you can do both if you want, but you don't need to. Pengjik says the warm-up emails if someone responds. Yeah, when I send the warm-up email, if somebody replies yes, first of all, I jump up and down and pat myself on the back because I have now initiated a conversation. And that is the first step in getting them as a paying client. then I just talk to them like a real human. I reply to them and I say, thank you for letting me know and confirming your information. I'm really excited to have you on my directory. This is a new thing we're rolling out. We're excited to get it going. By the way, what I do is I help businesses get more exposure. Do you have a quick 10 minutes we could talk next Thursday? I saw some things when I was setting up your listen that I think I could help you with, right? It's very, very authentic and straightforward like that. Nothing very, very salesy. Dorn says, do you even directory, bro? Awesome. That is in the works. That is in the works. The coupon functions is in the works. That's a pretty robust functionality though. So we're getting that build, but it is in the works. You'll see it in the plans thing. Okay, look, these were great questions and I really appreciate all of you showing up today. Again, thanks for attending today's live coaching call. If you want to grab the cheat sheet, all you have to do is subscribe, like, leave a comment below. I will respond with a link to sign up to my free Smart AI Launch Lab training. When you sign up for that, it's free. Not only will you learn how to launch your AI business in 72 hours, but you'll end up on this thank you page. And if you go down to step 3, you'll see this Get My AI Cheat Sheets. You can click that. You can get this cheat sheet along with a bunch of other ones that are there as well. Look, I really hope that if you're not already an active Smart Directory AI user, that you jump in before the end of February so that you can get the coaching on pricing that I'm going to be doing in March. That training is going to be super detailed. How to figure out your pricing. I know a lot of you ask this question. What do I charge? How do I charge? How do I not lump myself in with all these other people selling AI agents so that I'm a commodity and it's just a race to the bottom? I'm going to cover all of that in this full pricing coaching session. How to calculate your true consulting rate, how to package without itemizing features, how to anchor price properly, how to get out of the low ticket month to month and get into the $1,500 to $3,000 a month retainers, how to prevent scope creep, and how to build long-term contracts that protect you. So this training is going to be awesome. Again, it's only going to be available to active Smart Directory AI users. So if you're not an active Smart Directory AI user, sign up for that now. Not only are you going to get an amazing prospecting system, I think one of the best out there, you'll also get these free bonus trainings as I do them and roll them out. All right, look, that's it for this week's Friday coaching call. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to be here next Friday, same time, 3 p.m. Eastern. If you have questions, you can come there. You can also ask them in the school group. I respond to a ton of the comments and questions in the school group. So it's a great way to pick my brain inside there as well. And again, that group is free. All right, everybody, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, and I will